Human resources and internal communications have been the housers of employee engagement in most organizations. That's where it seems to reside. I think what we're starting to move towards, maybe some organizations are already there, but a lot will struggle, is that ultimately I think HR and IC will become community mobilizers. And if they start reading community mobilization and how you mobilize a community, that's what's going to be the big difference in internal business communication software and Enterprise 2.0. It'll allow us to transform and change that role, not just in name, but in the whole way we act. And so communication will become important, HR will become important, and the value proposition. I mean, we need to know when we're investing time and energy, and people are investing time and energy in these things, that there's a return. Sure. Too often, human resources, when I talk to them, are often ostracized or off on the side of the organization. They're still almost at times perceived as a cost. This is a chance to step up, declare what you stand for, show the results you want to achieve, and demonstrate it very strongly in the organization in a very visual, content, compelling way that tracks results.
In the work that you do, David, are you already seeing examples of individuals or organizations that are edging towards this community mobilizer role, or is it still early days?
It's early days, but I mean, I'll anchor back to that one more time. The wind is strong in Winnipeg, and the wind is strong. I mean, I've only been involved in online work for about 7 years, and it's transformed completely. I mean, the issues that are going on internally were the issues that those of us involved in the earlier days of social media were going through ourselves with our blogs and what's happening with that. I would love to see more networks stake a claim. This network will return this or contribute this, or we will track what the impact is of this network on our three strategic objectives. So if we want to increase customer rates, or we want to increase revenue by 8% or whatever, track it, do it, make it transparent. That's a very risky thing to do.
Sure.
But ultimately, if you want to be very viable, you have to show how you're valuable, and this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity for HR and IC to step up.
Well, the right things to do are not always the easy things to do.
Oh, no, this isn't easy.
Right.
Although in some ways it's simpler than you think. I mean, if you went onto a site and said that by such and such a day we will demonstrate this, and you knew what those vital behaviors were to achieve that, and then you stacked the deck with all the sources of influence, you might be quite surprised. I have a declaration that by the year 2020, my work indirectly and directly will have a 1% impact on worldwide engagement. That's sticking my neck out in a huge way.
I love it.
I haven't figured out exactly how to measure all that, how to track all that. I'm going to need help with the community.
Sure.
My friend John Johnson said 2,500 may be the magic number for this community. Maybe it's 5,000, but when we get to that number, then we need to mobilize that community. I don't want them just to gather about employee engagement. I want to improve employee engagement. I want to be a part of that. I want them to be a part of it. And I can't figure it all out in advance. The community is going to surprise me. It's going to be strategic. It's going to be improvisation. But I made a declaration.
I love it. Well, we'll have to check back in 2020 to see how you're doing.
Yeah, I got 9 more years.
That's right. Why don't we go to your next slide, David?
That's just kind of going back to where we were.
Sure.
Ultimately, engagement isn't about feeling good and fuzzy, happy dances on YouTube. Engagement is authentic connection to the people in the organization, to the results, to the customers, to our own development. Ultimately, if we're going to really be successful, we've got to move beyond gathering to mobilized. Results focus without the idea that we can articulate the results. I can state the results, but that's an iterative process. So I'll state the results of 1%, and maybe the network will come back and say, that's too low, or maybe that's unrealistic, and those results will change through the community, and the community will change because of the results.
That's great. Can you stick around for some questions?
Sure.
That's great. Well, I want to thank David Zinger for joining us. A quick reminder that copies of all of these presentations will be made available to you tomorrow. So David will have questions after we're done talking to Stephen.
Sounds good.